Hey sis, welcome back to another episode of God is Calling Me to Homeschool. Now what? Listen, did you hear? I made a major announcement yesterday that something big is happening for moms just like you, and I cannot wait to share it here with you today. But first, let me be real with you about this past week. I know I start off every episode kind of trying to tie it into like my real life. So this past week has been a stretch. Two of the kids were sick, struggling with like really sore throats, fevers. It's kind of been off and on around here lately. I burned my hand. A really hot cup of tea spilled on my hand. That has been a whole thing. Thankfully, there was no like skin damage, but the pain has been paining. You know how we say life has been lifing? The pain has been paining. Okay. To the point where I cannot really use it until the pain subsides. All of my plans for this big announcement came to a screeching halt right after I had been like resting and recouping from just all the hustle and bustle of the previous month. Then I'm like, okay, I'm going to really tap in and get these things done so that I am prepared and we can launch on time. And then the incident with the tea happens, and I'm like, oh my gosh, God, for real? Like, really? But here's the thing. I had my but really moment, but overall, I still responded differently this time. So normally I would have pushed past my limits, poured from a completely empty cup, tried to control everything, burning out in the process, doing things with my hand in spite of the pain, just so that I could feel like I was still being productive. But instead, I've learned in this entire walk of obedience to just lean in and trust God. I rested, I set boundaries, I accepted help, and I only did what I absolutely needed to do. I only did what I absolutely needed to do. That's the major, major difference. Because what I'm doing right now in this season, all of it, and y'all know it's a lot, it's a stretch for me. But the difference is that I'm not stretching alone. God has given me the grace, and He reminded me that my strategy has to be kingdom strategy. I can't just talk to you guys about kingdom strategy. I also have to follow through with kingdom strategy. Not just good ideas, not just excellent plans, but wisdom that I can tie back to His word, His promises, and His specific plans for me as a mom, as a wife, as a CEO, all the things, right? So that takes me straight to our verse for this week, which is Proverbs 31:20. She stretcheth out her hand to the poor, yea, she reacheth forth her hands to the needy. This verse, although y'all know we had this conversation, this whole Proverbs 31 Bible study in our mom membership, but reading it again to review for this episode, it hit differently. Because stretching isn't like a passive, I'm just going to lay here and see what happens situation. It's very much active. It requires you to have strength. Yeah, stretching requires strength. And notice in the verse, and I've noticed in my own life this week, that she's stretching towards those who need her or those that she needs. Right? It's a two-way street. So as moms, for our children, our husbands, our communities, they all have needs, right? And we may feel the pull to stretch in a million directions. Like, you ever felt like a rubber band that's about to pop because just everybody is pulling on you, and it's like one more request and I'm a spaz on everybody. I think we've all been there, right? But here's the truth. You cannot stretch from empty. You can only stretch when you have grace, when you have a good strategy, a godly strategy, and with support. I believe that's why so many of us get frustrated or burnt out when we're stretching, because we're doing it without an actual foundation. We're trying to hold it all together without the tools, without the help, without the community, and without the right strategy. But even though we are all guilty of this, imagine if you didn't have to do this alone. Imagine if you could show up a little more like that Proverbs 31 woman, stretching with strength, with wisdom, with confidence, and only for the things that you absolutely need to stretch for in this season. Just imagine what that would feel like. That's exactly why I created Mom School. Yes, Mom School is finally here. The announcement was finally made on social media yesterday, and it officially launches this September. It is going to be a 9-month journey designed to help you rediscover yourself, get clear on your assignment, and lead your home boldly. Why is it 9 months? Why is it called Mom School? Let's think about it. We're homeschool moms, right? Some of us are not homeschool moms. Some of us are listening right now and you're maybe considering homeschooling, or you are pouring into your kid after school. Like you're still that mom, okay? But I'm still talking to you. You give your kid this whole journey of transition. For example, let's use Cadence this time. She'll be doing the 3rd grade this year, right? So I'm going to spend 9 months from September to May guiding her through a transition from uncertainty in the beginning of the school year, not really knowing what 3rd grade is going to look like, not really understanding maybe some of the concepts because it's all new, right? But by the end of this year, there should be a transformation where she has a better understanding of what she is capable of. She has a better understanding of what she's capable of. She has a better understanding of who to go to when she needs help. She has a better understanding of what to do for different subjects and different unit studies we may do. She has gotten the experience to feel confident in herself by the end of this transformation. That is exactly what Mom School is. It is a 9-month transformation journey for you to sign up, not understanding who you are, forgetting who you are because you got caught up in life, in motherhood, in task, in responsibilities, all the things, and you haven't had the chance to sit down and figure out who you are today and who God has created you to be. But by the end of it, you're going to know. You're going to know, you're going to have set boundaries, you're going to have routines in place, you are going to feel a little more confident in who you were created to be. And not only that, you're going to have a clearer understanding of your assignment. Whether that assignment is I have to, really tap in at home. God is calling me to focus so much more on my children, on my husband, on my household right now. Bet, let's go. That's what we're going to focus on. If you are getting to, a point in this transformation where you know that that's what you're going to do, okay, let's go. Let's tap in. What does that look like for you? If you get to this point and you're like, I feel like I've been putting off this business idea. I know that God is calling me to start this business or start this community, and I've just been so scared because I don't see how the time is going to fit right now. Like, how am I supposed to do all of this? Okay, let's go. If you get to a point and you're like, I feel like I should be an author. I feel like I have a story to tell. I feel like I'm supposed to be sharing the gospel on social media. I feel like I'm supposed to be homeschooling my kids, and I don't understand how I'm supposed to fit that in when I also need money and I also need to show up here and show up there. Sis, we got you, okay? It is a 9-month transformation journey that has been designed to help you rediscover yourself and get clear on your assignment so that you can lead boldly at home. Why do I connect those two? Because from personal experience, I have seen a shift in my household when I started to show up as who God created me to be. You ever been in a job or a situation where the leader of the house wasn't confident? I feel like that's typically where we get those managers that micromanage, or they overstep boundaries, or they just nag everybody. Like they have a real mean-spirited. I could go on and on and on about their characteristics, but I feel like you can pinpoint that one person in their mind. When that person is the head of the organization or the head of the department, it affects everybody. And the same goes for you. When you are not confident as mom, if you don't know who you are as mom, but yet you are raising the next generation of people, that does impact your children, whether you understanding or not. And I've seen it with my own eyes in my own home. I've seen the transformation, especially in my oldest, because she's known me through this transition. She's known me as, the new mom, the new wife, and just literally trying to figure life out. I don't know what the heck I'm doing. But she's also known me as I'm trying to be perfect, a perfect homeschool mom, a perfect wife, a perfect this, perfect that, because I don't want anybody to think I'm doing anything wrong. I don't want anybody to second guess my decisions. I'm not confident in my own decisions. I'm just kind of here. I'm here today, here tomorrow. I don't really know what's going on. But that very situation is what got me to a point of asking God to walk me through this very transformation. Now, see, this is what I love about podcasts. I can sit here and explain all of this to you all, just like we're having a conversation. And it's so much easier to do it this way than to put it in 30-second clips. But I'm telling you, this transformation is going to directly impact your kids, especially if you are homeschooling. They're watching your every move. If your kids are like my kids, oh my gosh, they watch everything. It almost drives me crazy because I'll be like, what are you looking at? And I think it drives me crazy because it adds an extra layer of pressure. But instead of using that extra layer of pressure in a negative way, I've begun to use it as ammunition to make sure that I'm good. I use it as ammunition to say, let me make sure that I tap into therapy so that whatever I'm dealing with doesn't directly impact my children. I'm going to make sure that I'm tapped in with God, and whatever it is that He is asking me to do in my life, I do it to the best of my ability. I may stumble, I may get miss the mark sometimes, but the goal is to please God and to do what He's asking me to do because my kids are watching me. I don't want to be that example that shows them, I might listen to God in this situation, but I ain't going to listen to Him over here because it's uncomfortable and because I don't want to get the help that I need to accomplish what it is He's asking me to accomplish. Because there's nothing that God asks us to do that He requires us to do it alone. So there's always people in your life, that He sends to help you. But we be ignoring it, especially as moms, because we're like, I don't have time. I feel guilty. I deal with mom guilt. I don't want to leave my kids. I don't want to ask somebody to watch them. I don't want to go on date night because, I don't want to leave the baby. What? That's a whole nother conversation. But watching my kids watch me really became some of the motivation behind what you all see, because I want to show them that life didn't stop when God blessed me with them. Life did not stop when I became a mother. Life did not stop when I became a wife. Life didn't stop when I became a CEO. You know what I mean? These are just parts of who God created destiny to be. They make up a story where He gets the glory, not me. So if He has given me all of these responsibilities and these tasks, I want to steward them well so that my kids see you actually can obey God, and you actually can be a mom, and you can be a father, because I have a son too. But the core of all of this is that you're following God. You have to put in place kingdom strategies to make sure it all fits, right? And I'm not saying you have to do a million things all the time, every time, and every season. That's why you walk through the basis of this journey. And then if you need additional help, we have another conversation. But the 9-month journey is so that while your kid is going through this transformation, you too are going through a transformation, and you both come out new. You both come out with a new confidence. You both are ending with a better understanding of who you are, with another level of confidence. Okay, I was going to say, like, before we dive into what it actually is, but I've already dove into it because I got excited. But now that you have a really good idea, hopefully, of what mom school is about to be like, I want to invite you to something special. I'm hosting a free, yes, free, FREE, a free webinar. It is a sneak peek into what mom school is all about. So a little bit of what I just told you, but expanded to the full mission and what you're going to experience. And we're going to do some stuff in real time. Okay? You're going to walk away with practical tools that you can use right then and there and get a taste of what this next season can look like if you just stop trying to do things alone. Stop hiding. Stop making excuses. All of that. So if you've been listening to this podcast and you know God is tugging at you, this, sis, is your moment. Like, your answer, there are some people, including me, like, we'll be praying for stuff, right? We'll be like, God, send community my way. God, send finances my way. God, I need you to, show me what my purpose is in life. I need you to do this. I need you to do that. And then when he shows us, we'll be like, nah, not that. Try again. I think I touched on this last week. It's like, God, I'm a stay-at-home mom. It's 2025. One income. It's tough, no matter how much money you're making. Okay? I want to be able to help with my family. I know that I'm supporting my family by being home and pouring into my kids, the whole nine. I understand that. But all of that whole concept doesn't pay the bills. Lord, I need you to show me. If you've called me to homeschool, you called me to be a stay-at-home mom. Is there something else in that call that I'm missing? Is there something that you have already put within me that I could use in this current season to bring in extra income? Possibly. But then when he gives us the answer, it's like, I don't really know, because, like, that's going to take time. And, like, I'm scared because what if people, like, look at me like I'm crazy? Or, like, what if this, what if that? Or we're asking God for help. I've done this too. Lord, you got me doing this thing. You calling me to homeschool. Okay, but now what? Because this is a lot. I don't really know how to manage all of this. You giving me passions, desires, all of this stuff. Now what? And then you see something like this, so a free webinar. I'm not even talking about mom school in itself. I'm talking about a free webinar. And then it's like, I don't really know, because the kids might not be in bed at that time. And we might actually be out that day. But, like, mind you, I ain't said the day yet. We might be out that day. So, like, I don't really understand. And then, like, my kids, they going to keep calling me. Okay. That means you don't have a routine in place. That means you belong in mom school. Because there should be a part in every day where you are able to step away and do what you need to do. There should be, even if it's a one-off situation like this, you should be able to delegate. You should be able to have structure in place where they can do something else or somebody else can fill in so that you can pour into you. If I stepped on some toes, sorry, not sorry, because that's exactly the mom I'm talking to. It's so, like, I know I'm on the outside looking in, but I walked this with y'all already. Like, I've done this already. So I'm telling you that it works. Very seldom will I be in a meeting and my kids are running around me like chickens with their heads cut off, because I have a routine in place. Yes, most of them are a little bit older than my listeners, but there's routines in place. And I feel like, ooh, I'm probably going to get in trouble for this one, but it just popped in my head. I feel like sometimes when God is calling us to do something, we use not wanting our kids to feel neglected as a reason for why we don't want to put routines in place. I can adore my children. I can do things with them before and after, but during that meeting, they understand that mommy's at work. And I've also explained that to them in real time. Like, hey guys, when daddy is in a meeting, y'all don't bother him at all. You understand that it's important. If he closes his office door and he starts talking, you are very aware that he is on a call. He's in a meeting. Y'all don't bother him. So what's the difference between daddy being in a meeting and mommy being in a meeting? Nothing. Because both are important. Both are versions of us working. Now, the difference is that mommy may have a meeting at 1 and then at 1:30 she gets to go make you a sandwich and play a game with you. Or I have a meeting at, whatever time in the afternoon, but all morning we did stuff together. That's the only difference. But our jobs are still equally important. You have to set those boundaries. You have to set those routines. And I just gave y'all free information. But this is the type of stuff that you will get not only in this webinar, in mom school, just in conversations with me, because I am determined that any mom that grabs hold to what God has given me to share with you all, I'm determined to help you get through this. And sometimes it's just a simple tweak. It's a simple boundary to put in place. It's a simple routine, not a schedule. I've tried that too. Not okay, at 7:45 I do this, at 8 I do this, at 8:15. No, it's more like, okay, in the morning we kind of, have this routine. In the afternoon, like for me, for example, real quick, for our homeschool schedule or routine last year, in the morning we did our chores, breakfast, we did school for a couple of hours. In the afternoon, mommy did her work. In the evening, there was dinner, there was family time, there was bedtime, and then we started all over again. Depending on the day though, but I don't want this to be too long, so I'm not gonna go down our entire routine. But that is a routine. If you say, okay, on Monday I do laundry, on Tuesday I do clean the bathrooms. I don't know, y'all, but you get the point. These are routines. They are feasible enough to put order in place, but not strict enough to overwhelm you. All of this is important. And sometimes it just takes somebody on the outside to walk you through it. But all of that aside, because that focuses on what you're doing at home, what about you? Like, what boundaries and routines are you putting in place so that you can figure out who you are? Because that's really what it is. You're going to be attending mom school to figure out who you are. What is God putting in you? Are you able to say who you are without saying I am his wife and I'm their mom and I do this and I do that? If not, I need you to go sign up for that webinar. If you are struggling to figure out what your calling is, I need you to go sign up for the webinar. If you are overwhelmed with what God has placed on you right now, I need you to sign up for the webinar. Okay? All right. I won't bug you guys about it anymore until next week. But if you are following me on social media, again, like I explained in the last episode, the handles have changed. So if you're on Instagram, it is Kingdom Homeschool Strategist. If you're on TikTok, it is Kingdom HS Strategist. Y'all gonna be getting it a lot. So if you're not convinced today, be prepared, because I'm probably going to convince you by the day of the webinar. And if I don't, okay, maybe it's not for you. But I know that I have a lot of listeners who are in this situation, and I know that this is a God-given idea. It is a God-given purpose. So I know that God gave it to me because there's somebody who needs it. He gave me the plan, the idea, the strategy, the content for it, the self-experience. Like the fact that I walked through this very journey myself and I didn't put that together until he gave me the idea for mom school itself is like mind-blowing. Like I'm sitting there and I'm mapping out what I want mom school to look like. And then the memory comes, or I'm assuming it's like, God is just like, yeah, we did that. That's how you got here. I'm like, that's wild. Because I remember sitting in my living room crying, like, God, what do you want from me? What am I here for? Well, I feel like I am being pulled in so many different directions. I feel like everybody needs me. Everybody needs me to be perfect. I can't do anything wrong, but at the same time, I feel like I can't do anything right. What is it? That was a turning point in my life. Yes, the girl who grew up in church, singing on the choir since she was 4 years old, in every service, never really did anything too crazy, right? Yeah, I was like, sir, we need to have a conversation because I feel like I'm losing my mind. My transformation took a couple of years though, and I'm still transforming. This is not a complete thing or I wouldn't be here. But I do get to at least condense the theme of what I was able to learn and share it with you all. This is not just because I am a certified life coach. It's not just because I am a certified transformation specialist. This is also real life. It is education and training. It is real life experience. And it is divine intervention, all packed into something to help you grow. All right, before I close, I don't necessarily get notified when you guys write a review, but when I do see it, it really touches me. So this one that I just saw this morning from Miss Ace-L, it honestly brought me to tears. So it says, Destiny's God is Calling Me to Homeschool. Now What podcast has been such a timely listen for where I'm at in life right now. She's so relatable, genuine, and spirit-led that it feels like you're chatting with a friend who truly gets it. So this is exactly why I do this. This is what I pray this podcast and now Mom School will be for you and for everybody that is listening. It was she's so relatable, genuine, and spirit-led that it feels like you're chatting with a friend who truly gets it. That's why I talk the way that I talk. That is why this is the format. This is also why I've gone through this mini transition of, just talking to you guys and tying it into the verse, because I also realized that the other episodes were getting really, really long. And while those conversations were amazing and I want to still share the heart of them, I really want you to feel like we are just in this together, because we are. I just may be a couple of steps ahead in some areas. I still don't know everything. You may be a couple steps ahead of me in some areas. But for right now, for Mom School, for understanding when God is calling you to do something and you instantly feel overwhelmed and underqualified, that is what God is calling you to homeschool. Now what is all about. So here's the key takeaway for today. Stretching that we talked about in Proverbs 31:20, it is a part of motherhood. But God doesn't want you to break while you are stretching. He wants you to be equipped. He wants you to stretch with grace, with wisdom, and with kingdom strategy. And that's exactly what Mom School is here for. So if you have not already, go ahead and register for the free webinar. Come get poured into and let's do this together. I will talk to you guys next week.